Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. We have another insane glitch happening with XRP. This from the cryptobasic.com. XRP price faces another glitch. This glitch showed a shocking price of $34,603 beautiful dollars. Unbelievable. We just keep having these things happen. It's very strange. I will say that. And now it says it took place on CoinMarketCap, but there's a little bit of confusion about how this actually occurred. But let's read this little tidbit here. It says, a Dubai-based XRP influencer, Yellen. I believe we heard from this person before. Oh, yeah, it is. It's Crypto Barbie. Okay, so we have heard from Crypto Barbie before. It says, called attention to the clip in a recent post on X. She mentioned that the glitch occurred on Binance. Okay. Still, the video suggests that the chart came from the leading price tracking tool CoinMarketCap. And obviously here it shows this, like what they're calling the God candle, where it's just the price is going absolutely insane. It says the influencer questioned why these glitches have persisted on XRP charts, a pattern that has been more prevalent with the asset. Amid this trend, Yellen believes the recurrent occurrence could suggest that XRP's true value is suppressed. Notably, the video presents a 1-hour XRP chart on CMC, which with its obtainable price at 56 cents. However, a further stretch of the chart allegedly shows a massive God candle, which briefly skyrocketed the asset's price to $34,603. Holy smokes. That is absolutely insane. It says, however, following the momentary price spike, XRP it did drop back in a massive crash to its normal range, at least according to this clip here, Now, that is very interesting. I know a lot of people are going to have thoughts about that. And for years, there has been a huge segment of the XRP community that believes in much, much higher prices like $10,000, $25,000, $35,000, and they've been looking into things like these types of glitches and such, which always obviously, lends a little bit more credence to their ideas and theories and such. So now let's move on here to an article on the cryptobasic.com. We just keep getting bullish information. I mean, all of this is very fun. All of this is very interesting. So we have this article here on the cryptobasic.com and it's titled XETH Advisor Agrees XRP Could Surpass $100 as it has no ceiling. I like to hear that. I like to hear that a lot. And shout out to everybody the other day who let me know that they believed XRP could go above $100. And these people I have the greatest of respect for. So I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with me. Thank you so much. Now, it begins here. It says crypto expert and former Ethereum advisor Nerayoff believes XRP could reach unprecedented heights, challenging price limits and global financial standards. Steven Nerayoff, an early advisor for Ethereum and a notable member of the XRP community, recently contributed to the discussion about XRP attaining double and triple digit dollar values in the future. In a recent tweet, an XRP enthusiast sought Nerayoff's view concerning the future of XRP. He asked about the possibility of XRP reaching lofty heights of $10 or even $100. Nerayoff acknowledged that offering a straightforward response to such a question is complex, yet he provided an overview of his thoughts. And let's see if if they actually sum it up, or if I have to actually read the tweet up top. This is the ex-Ethereum advisor first expressed a belief that the future of XRP could be promising. Quote, I believe XRP has no ceiling, unquote, Nerayoff remarked. I said the same thing. It's all about, the big banks using them, how much it uses XRP, how much capital is flowing through it. But as far as there being a cap, there is no cap on XRP. It's like nothing anyone has ever seen. Now, I don't think anyone has a crystal ball. I definitely don't. I don't know how high it can go. I just know it can go very high. And I'm hoping that through the use of XRP on demand liquidity, tokenization of everything, loosening up Nostro, that through that over time, that price can go extremely high. That's the hope. That's what I hope. All right. But anyway, let's continue on here. It says Nerayoff argues there may be no defined limit for XRP, provided that teams building with XRP achieve their objectives. Exactly. This may include making XRP a standard currency for global payments. Nureyev pointed out that Ripple is a strong contender in a, quote, network effects, unquote, model. His view implies that Ripple is positioned favorably to attain widespread adoption. This adoption could bolster XRP demand. I've been saying that for a long time. I agree 100%. This person, in my humble opinion, knows what they're talking about. It says, moreover, Nureyev noted that once Ripple successfully achieves the model, XRP would become an essential part of the ecosystem, which could eliminate any perceived ceiling on its price. Quote, once this is achieved, XRP must be used. And at that point, I don't see a ceiling on the price, unquote. Reading this is getting me just that much more bullish. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling real good right now just listening to this XRP news. It says, to illustrate his point further, Nureyev drew a comparison to the US dollar, which is widely adopted and functioned as a global standard due to its network effects. He argued that there seems to be no upper limit to the price of the dollar. Nureyev's exactly. That is a great point, sir. Great point. Nureyev's view is that the price of the dollar remains relatively stable, even though it loses value over time. According to him, USD's indispensability overshadows its monetary worth. We're going to stop right there. You want to read the rest of that? Go to cryptobasic.com. They're doing a tremendous job. That was a great article there. Now, let's move on here to a little bit of Elon Musk news. So this article here is from TheVerge.com. And it is titled, let me scroll up, Elon Musk gives ex-employees 1 year to replace your bank. They switched the title. And I get that. Sometimes you have to do that because the first title doesn't get you any views or as much views as you want. You got to switch the title. But the original title was that Elon Musk wants X to replace banks. Now, if he wants them to do that, you can't do that building an e-system, electronic system like Zelle or Venmo or what are the other ones? Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. No. If they were going to replace banks, they would already have done that. And they've had a variety of problems, right? Huge problems. Nope. You're going to need digital systems. You're going to need the new financial system. Let me just tell you, and I'm not beyond thinking that Elon can make mistakes. And if he runs it as an e-system, just like PayPal and everything else, then no, that's not going to replace banks. That's not going to happen. But if he goes with digital systems, which we have a global web of corridors, XLM, global web of corridors, XRP, global web of corridors, Algorand, same thing. If he can go deep with the bank coins, yes, I'm going to put them out front. If he can go deep with bank coin based systems, nobody needs to know, Elon, that the systems run on the bank coins. Let the engine do what it does and let the people admire the body of the car, right? But if he goes deep with those, then sure. Just like Christine Lagarde said, just like a few other notable people this year, we covered those articles. So I showed you the proof. But just like they said that the new financial system could upend and usurp the throne of the central banks, yes, X would then stand a chance. But you need these new technologies. And let me say this also. No, it's not going to happen through Dogecoin. So forget about that. I'm talking about the Elon. I'm not talking to Doge enthusiasts, believe what you want. But I just know that these new technologies within the new financial system, the hub of them, XRP, XLM, Algorand, are the way if anybody wants to take over all that beautiful capital from the banks. All right. So let me read a little bit of the article. Actually, I'm just going off. Elon Musk wants X to be the center of your financial world, handling anything in your life that deals with money. He expects those features to launch by the end of 2024. Isn't that interesting? Micro rolling out in 2024. Then you have all this digital euro stuff, retail they're trying to push right now. Wholesale, they're doing testing for in 2024. Allegedly, the first quarter, wholesale CBDC testing for digital euro. I mean, there's so many other things that we have some stuff going on in the MENA region in 2024. We have some things going on with the the Monetary Authority of Singapore in 2024. All these different things happening in 2024. It's lining up to be a huge year. And if it's not, and if it itself is not a huge year, then what it serves as is a huge setup for 2025. One of the two. But I'm thinking 2024 is going to be a very special year. All right. And then there's a lot of pressure right now. Listen, I don't believe in Congress whatsoever. I don't believe in any of these politicians. You want to be real about it. But I'll tell you this. There's a lot of pressure on them behind the scenes to roll out clarity for crypto assets. And if that happens, sky's the limit, baby. We could be looking at a heck of a bull run. A little bit of clarity in 2024, maybe. Bitcoin ETF. I mean, there's so many different ways that a bull run could pop off. Not to mention, they're going to have to address these high yields on bonds, which I have something coming up about that. But if they have to bring yields down on, treasuries, my apologies. They have to bring yields down on treasuries at some point, then definitely there's a lot more capital that will play in the markets. Anyway, let's move on here. We're going to close out with this little bit of article here. All right. This is absolutely insane, in my humble opinion. This is from Reuters.com, and it is titled Yellen. Janet Yellen says U.S. GDP is a good, strong number. My apologies, everyone, for the pause. I'm trying to write down the chapter numbers at the same time. These audio versions of the show are actually more difficult than the visual version because I have visual cues that tell me where to put the chapters. In the audio version, you just don't have that. Well, I don't have that, right? So anyway, it says here, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Thursday said U.S. third quarter economic growth of nearly 5% was, quote, a good, strong number, unquote, that points to a soft landing for the U.S. economy, but could help keep longer dated bond yields elevated. Oh, man, they're going to see. So what she's saying is, hey, yields are going to be high. So, we're trying to take some money from all of you other sectors, because if people go back for that high bond yield, which now she's saying they're going to keep it higher for longer, then that would drain capital from commodities, possibly drain capital from stocks, possibly drain capital from crypto, possibly. So we have to always be looking over our shoulders because of that. People got to pay attention to this. It says, quote, it's a good, strong number and shows the economy is doing well, unquote, Yellen said at a Bloomberg Live interview event. No, it doesn't. That's a complete lie. Number one, we saw the real firm data that said people were living off their credit cards for the longest time, correct? All right. We also saw the M2 money supply do something it hasn't done since the last few depressions, right? Which tells us that we're in a depression. People's savings accounts were at all-time lows or empty. The charts show that, and the charts are not lying, right? So the economy is doing terrible. So then we saw data come out a few months ago that showed people were now maxing out their credit cards. They were at the end of being able to use their credit cards. So then what happened to make things continue to seem like things were going well? Well, right around the time they were maxing out their credit cards, we got that data, got our hands on that information. Then the holiday seasons were coming and everybody's putting in all of this overtime. You got to put in some overtime for the family. You got to get some gifts for the family. You got Halloween coming up. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got the Christmas coming up. So people got to go out there. They got to do some overtime. All the people doing overtime, mandatory extra time, whatever these businesses call it these days. So now they have a little bit of a capital flowing around because people want to go out and take their families to nice restaurants for dinner. Number one, they want to buy their family gifts. Number two, you can't go by that. So it's keeping things in this pumped up, illusory state where the government takes advantage of it because, they don't let a good crisis go to waste. They made that very clear, right? They don't let a good any situation go to waste is what I'm saying. Right? You have to extrapolate that meaning from that original phrase. And so they take advantage of this and say, see, look, everybody's spending money, because that's what the original articles I read the other day said. It was consumers are spending. That makes everything okay. No, it doesn't. Where are they getting this capital? Listen, at some point, they're not going to be able to work overtime anymore. At some point, they're going to burn out. At some point, mandatory extra and overtime is going to end because the holiday season will end. Peak seasons will be over. And then it will be right back to them not having really any capital. They can't buy homes. They can't afford apartments. See, this is the type of lying that I really abhor. I really don't like from the U.S. Treasury, and Janet Yellen is the face. So Janet Yellen gets aimed at a lot. But this is a lie. No, the economy is doing bad right now. And if we want to fix the economy, then we have to acknowledge that. So my apologies, everyone. I'm sounding like I usually talk on my economic channel, but it's true. I can't get around this. But anyway, this does affect crypto. Yes, because if they keep those treasury yields higher, they keep going higher because there's mass sell off. Nobody wants to buy treasuries anymore. We want to play. We want to have some fun. That's exactly what I think. That's exactly why the capital's been moving around a little bit. People get bored with this bond. We want a little excitement in our lives, right? I know there's other reasons. I get it. But this is a big reason why. So, because like, what other reason would there be? The bonds are quote unquote safe. There is, you lock in those gains. No, people want to play a little bit. They want to have a little bit of they underestimate that adrenaline aspect of trading and making capital on your own, going out there in the forest and hunting. They underestimate people's drive towards that, right? The T-Rex doesn't want to be fed. Remember hearing that in Jurassic Park? The T-Rex does not want to be fed. It wants to hunt. It's part of its nature. They don't get that. So yeah, for a while, people are going to feast on bond yields and treasury yield, T-bill yields and things like that. Sure. But after a while, they're going to get bored. They want to play a little bit that's another thing. They know they can make. Do you see how much money people just made off of that little run in the crypto markets? Oh, there were some good gains made. 100%. There was a lot of good gains made in that little bit of time. They remember that the taste of extremely insane amounts of money. Right. And so they're going to play. It's not to say that they're going to make that, but they're going to play. They want to try to have that feeling again. So anyway, so yeah, just keep your eyes open. Right. If people do go back to treasuries for this elevated yield, then there may be liquidity drain. I told you that before. And then you see what happened. They did that. What they recently did, up in the yield a little bit more, and then markets went red again, a little bit reddish, right? And now they're saying this, right? So we'll see what happens. So that means there could be a sustained back and forth of liquidity comes in, liquidity goes out rapidly as people, are kind of torn between the two. At least until there is a strong crypto bull market, probably, coming up soon will be set off by a Bitcoin ETF. But now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.